Happy New Year, CHCC. As many of you know, I love to read books. It's one of my favorite hobbies. And Sunday, I promised you that I would share with you some of my favorite books that I read in 2018. And so, the first book I just read a couple weeks ago is a book called Everybody Always, Becoming Love in a World Full of Setbacks and Difficult People by Bob Goff. Bob Goff is one of the most authentic people that I've ever met, and it really comes out in his writing. And he has little nuggets of truth, and he really challenges you to love difficult people. And so anytime I pick up one of his books, I'm always changed after reading it. The second book is Dancing in No Man's Land, Moving with Peace and Truth in a Hostile World by Brian Jennings. Brian is a preacher in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he really has hit on a cultural issue that we're dealing with. We tend to have people on extremes of issues, and Brian talks about trying to live in that middle ground with peace and truth. And so this book has really challenged me. It's actually a book that we're going to do a sermon series on later in 2019, but I would greatly encourage you to pick this book up. Two other books that I enjoyed the first one was God of Tomorrow, How to Overcome the Fears of Today and Renew Your Hope for the Future by Caleb Cottonbach. And then also Unafraid, Living with Courage and Hope in Uncertain Times by Adam Hamilton. We live in a world that tends to bring fear to our lives. Some of us struggle with anxiety and discouragement, and some of us are looking for hope. And both of these books do a great job with encouraging us, reminding us that we have a God of hope, a God that will encourage us through difficult times. And so if you get a chance, you might want to pick up either one of these books. This next book is called The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. It's a little novel, and it talks about a man named Lel who became a tattooist there at Auschwitz, where he actually put the numbers on Jews during this time, and it was a very difficult time. This book ends up being a love story, and this was a book that I just couldn't put down, that I ended up reading very quickly, and I stayed up late one night and just had to finish it. And so if you love history, if you love novels, if you want a little love story, this would definitely be the book for you. A leadership book that I read this year that I really enjoyed was called The Culture Code, The Secrets of Highly Successful Groups by Daniel Coyle. And it talks about how to create a great culture for the team that you're leading or the team that you're a part of. I especially enjoyed Chapter 4, How to Build Belonging. And it talks about the San Antonio Spurs and about the culture that they've built. And so if you're a business leader or if you're part of a team that you'd love to see your team improve in some way, this book has some great little nuggets. And then lastly, book Didn't See It Coming, Overcoming the 7 Greatest Challenges That No One Expects and Everyone Experiences by Carey Nieuwhof. I've been a fan of Carey Nieuwhof for some time. I listen to his podcast, love to read his books. And this book was very convicting. He really puts a spotlight on some of our blind spots that we might have in life. And as you're reading through the chapter, at the end of it, you say, wow, I didn't realize that this may be an issue for me. Until you get to the end and you say, man, maybe I really need to consider this. And God has really challenged me with some of the content that's in this book to help me grow spiritually. All of these books, and there's many more that I wish I could have added to the list, but all of these books have made a tremendous impact on me. I'd love to hear if you read some of these and love to talk to you about those. If you have any questions, see me on Sunday or give me a call or send me a text. I'd love to discuss these books with you. I hope you have a happy 2019 and hope to see you Sunday.